Hey everyone, how you doing? In today's video, we're gonna be talking all about the makeup trends that I am bringing in with me in 2022. I feel like this year we saw crazy makeup trends, but actually a lot of really good ones. And I also feel like so many of us have changed our makeup routines since the beginning of 2020, and I am finding that I'm wearing a lot less makeup than I used to, and I also feel like my style of makeup has kind of changed as well. So I'm gonna keep this intro short and let's get into the makeup trends I'm bringing with me in 2022. So one trend I love for brows, and this is no new news, I love the laminated fluffy brow look. The products I like to use to achieve this are the Kosas Air Brow, and basically what I'm gonna be doing is just fluffing it through the brows like so. You can even go back and forth to try to really fully saturate them. I know some of you guys don't really like it, and that's okay, you know, it's all about personal preference, and I'm sure there's gonna be some trends that I mentioned that I love that you're not gonna love, so take everything with a little grain of salt. And you know, for me, since I do have curly eyebrows, I find that having kind of a messier brow or a brow that isn't too structured just works out better for me. Moving on to our eyes, there has been a new liner trend. Well, I mean, it's not technically new, but became popular in 2021. Basically just creating a smoky liner with shadow. A lot of people are steering away from using liquid eyeliners, felt tip eyeliners, gel eyeliners. So it's been a lot more use of the shadow, and I actually really love the shadow eyeliner look. I'm taking some of my Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is in the shade Custard, and I'm just using this to prep the eyelids for our smoky wing. I'm just gonna do a little soft shadow in the crease, not anything crazy. I'm gonna be using this color Shaggy, and this is the Gone Matte palette from ColourPop. And I'm just honestly gonna be brushing this onto the lid and in the crease. I'm not doing anything super crazy because I want the focus to be on the smoky liner. Gosh, you guys, it is pouring freaking rain in LA, and it just makes me want to like snuggle up with a little hot chocolate. I don't know. I am feeling cozy vibes right now, okay? And I'm not too much of a coffee drinker. For me, I'm always like, ooh, hot chocolate or hot tea, you know? Like, this is me without caffeine. I mean, do you want me to be on caffeine? Because I feel like I'll be talking 100 miles a minute. The key to making a sharp shadow liner is having a flat edge. So I like to use this tape from Sephora collection. You guys have seen me use this about 100 times. A good rule of thumb is I'll follow my lower lash line, the kind of like angle that it's on. Yeah, so something like that. The hard part though is always trying to get it match up on the other side. You know what I'm saying? That's a little scary. So the key is you want to make sure you're using a tiny ass brush. Depending on the color, like if you want to do dark brown, if you want to do just a light brown, you want to do black. So I'm gonna do a little build up. I'm gonna go in first using my Sigma Line Perfector E68, and I'm gonna start laying down the shade Sleepwalker, which is this kind of like medium brown taupe shade. And I'm gonna keep this as low as I can, because when you're doing smoked out liner, it tends to get a little bit higher just because you're blending it out. So I am keeping this as close to my lash line as possible for right now. Doing the same thing, just kind of like just making my wing shape. And now what I'm gonna do is take a little fluffy and I am gonna start to blend this a little bit. And you're gonna keep building this up. Like, I'm gonna do a whole other layer of that Sleepwalker shade, and I'm literally just going to build it up. and then going back one more time to just smoke it out. So now that we've got that done, let's move on to the black shade. I want to have a little bit of dimension, so that's why I'm using 2 different colors. We're gonna use the shade Roll Around. This matte palette, by the way, is one of my favorites that ColourPop has released, because I just feel like you can use it for so many things. You can use it to bronze, contour, blush, eyeliner, eyeshadow, and I'm keeping this even lower, y'all, because like I said, I feel like I sound like a broken freaking record, but it's true. The higher up you bring the shadow, the more the smokiness is gonna come up, so it's better to keep it low and then be able to blend it out. So now is the satisfying part when you peel the tape off, but look at how pretty that looks, you guys. It's one of my favorite subtle wing liner tricks out there. I just feel like also if you are someone that struggles with eyeliner, this is gonna be an incredible hack for you, because I mean, it was so easy to do. All you need to do is have a sharp edge. You don't even necessarily need this tape. You could just take like a piece of freaking cardboard. You could take the edge of a palette. Like, you could literally do anything you wanted. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera to save a little bit of time, but I love the way this looks. It is so fierce. So I'm gonna pop on some mascara, and one thing I will say I've been doing a lot more of is actually wearing less falsies. And if I do wear false lashes, a lot of the times it's like a half lash or a really tiny lash. I do not like the big dramatic lashes anymore, you guys. So I'm just gonna pop on some of this Rare Beauty mascara, and then we're gonna do a little half lash too. But this mascara from Rare Beauty is seriously one of my favorites. If you guys are looking for a new mascara, I highly recommend this puppy. I'm gonna use these lashes right here from ColourPop. They are so tiny. I just feel like the way that Instagram makeup used to be is just so not my cup of tea anymore, which is crazy because up until the pandemic, I still was like full glam, full coverage, you know, and now it's not like that. So when I do my half lashes, what I like to do is actually cut from the outside, because I feel like the inner part of a lash is always sculpted so perfectly to the beginning part of your lashes. So I am gonna just trim away. That's as much as the lash that I kept. So when I apply these, I kind of focus it a little bit more in the center, because the outer part of my lash is actually pretty voluminous. So more like here. I'm basically just gonna use this tweezer to clamp everything together. And this is a really cute half lash moment. I love the way this looks, actually. Not much has changed when it comes to my foundation. However, I will say concealer has changed big time for me. I mean, girl, I used to apply that concealer to my freaking temples, and now there's no way I apply it like that. Honestly, less is more for me. So I'm gonna be using my Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I'm using the shade Medium 1 Custard. I feel like the biggest trend with concealer this year we saw was only applying a little bit here and a lifted look, right? However, I don't know if that is really good for everybody, because some people have deeper set eyes, some people have darker circles, some people need a little bit more coverage, right? Or want a little bit more coverage. What I like to do is really just focus it mainly near my nose and right about here. That's really all I've been applying. I don't really like to add concealer back here because I'm noticing I'm getting milia from all the products I'm putting up there. So I don't really do that. Definitely less concealer, okay? And definitely more concealer focused on the inner part of the eye and around the nose for me. This is definitely my biggest thing that I will be bringing in that's completely different from when I started the year off. And then if I have anything left on the brush, which I do, I sometimes will add concealer above my lip just because, like, you know, mustache tings. Another thing that I'm gonna be bringing into 2022 is letting my concealer kind of sit for a minute before I blend it out. Now, you really can only do this with creamy concealers, like a pot concealer like the one I'm currently using, or a concealer that you know isn't gonna dry down completely, that it can sit for a minute or so. I noticed such a huge difference when I let my concealer sit, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit for about 60 seconds and blend it out.
10 years later.
Now, when I do blend out the concealer, I do tap it upwards, but I don't necessarily go out of my way to add more concealer here. For bronzers and blushes, you guys, I am bringing in all of the cream products. I feel like this year was the year of cream blushes, cream bronzers, cream everything, honestly. I'm here for it because I have dry skin. So I love the cream bronzer trend. I love the cream blush trend. I love the all over the face blush trend as well. So the cream bronzer that I've been using a lot is the Rare Beauty one. It's Happy Soul, and I like to apply it with a brush. You can apply it with a blender and you can apply it directly to your face. I just don't like applying product directly to my face. So I'm gonna just go in and start to sculpt this out. I love that less powder has become a trend. Powder is not great for my dry ass lizard skin. I'm like trying to think of like trend predictions that will be for 2022 for makeup, and I honestly have no idea. Like the only thing I can think of is like even more cream products. That's like the only thing I can think of. I think there's like actually people that have jobs that are like they predict trends for like makeup brands and like just brands in general, especially brands in Sephora, because like I don't know if you guys know this, but they basically have to plan makeup drops like a year in advance in Sephora. Like I know, for example, a brand that I used to work really closely with, I was kind of asking them the ins and outs of things, and I found out that like a lot of companies will hire like these trend reporter people, and they'll come in and they'll basically say, okay, based on this and that, like lip gloss is due to come back in, right? Remember when we all thought lip gloss was going out the window and then liquid lipstick was it? It's just funny. Maybe liquid lipsticks will come back. Who the hell knows? I know some people hate the all over blush trend. Couldn't be me. I freaking love it, okay? I love it, I love it, I love it. I want blush everywhere, all over my face, on my schnoz, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And that's a Fendi fact. I'm with 100 MAC. Oh, this is custom made. Donatella sent me that. And the last face product that I'm bringing with me into 2022, and y'all, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but liquid highlighter. I love the Fenty Beauty Liquid Kilowatt. I love it because it's super subtle, and I love that it can apply over powder. Now, specifically this highlighter I'm bringing into 2022 because I really do like the fact that it's super subtle and it's not anything too crazy or intense. When it comes to just adding a little bit of a highlight to the face, just a little bit on the upper part. I used to bring highlighter all the way down to here and it just looks so bad. The days of highlighter is really over. I think it's less about the shimmer and more about the glow. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to look like I'm super glittery. I want to look like I have a natural moisturizer look to my face where I feel like this kind of does that. Like it's not hella shimmery. The last makeup trend I am bringing into 2022 is darker lip liner with a lighter lip color. I know that this trend is no new news, but it definitely has been made popular in the past couple of years. I'm using the House Labs liner. This is the RIP lip liners, and the color is Myth. I am bringing the lip flip into 2022. This is Makeup by Mario's signature technique where basically you overline just the Cupid's bow. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So basically look at how much that is overlined, right? You don't overline the rest of your lip. You only are overlining the very top. I got a little carried away with mine. And with this technique, you don't want to overline the outer corners of the top and the bottom lip because that's going to give it that really like look, and we're just trying to make the top lip look a little bit more plumpy. And then for the lips here, again, I'm not overlining the bottom lip. I have a pretty big bottom lip to begin with. So the lipstick I'm going in with is from Dominique Cosmetics and it's called Freckles. And there is our lip flip. It basically just adds like a lip filler appearance with makeup, which is pretty fun and doesn't cost any money. All right, you guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video of the trends that I am taking into 2022. I'm actually really excited to see what's gonna happen with makeup for the rest of this year. It's gonna be exciting, and hopefully we'll we'll all kind of get that spark back of like feeling excited about makeup products again. I feel like sometimes, especially with the pandemic, it's been like a little bit difficult to be excited about makeup, and I feel like we're all super burnt out from just so many launches, but I have high hopes. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what you see, please consider subscribing, and I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye!